sure it's recording. Yes, okay, it's recording. Great. Hello, everyone. People hearing me? Thumbs up or just a nod? Awesome. Okay, good. Excellent. So this is being recorded just for reference. But I'm going to jump on in, let people keep um, funneling in as they come. So, good morning and welcome to this Workforce Wednesday webinar. My name is Dalton Byers with the Illinois Center for Specialized Professional Support at Illinois State University. I'll be moderating and offering technical support for today's webinar. We're excited to introduce Evelyn Casano, who will be presenting on today's topic, which is AI Quick Wins, Simple Tools for Everyday Impact. As a reminder, all participants in the webinar have the ability to unmute yourselves and turn your cameras on. While we encourage participation, we just want to remind you that if you need to step away from your webinar for any reason, please turn off your camera and keep unmuted unless you're, unmuted or keep muted unless you unmute to ask a question. If you have any questions as the webinar proceeds, please post them in the chat or Q&A, and we'll address them at the end of the webinar during our Q&A section. A reminder, this webinar will be recorded. The presentation, recordings, and any materials presented during today's meeting will be available on the Illinois Workforce Academy website and the Illinois WorkNet website within 48 hours of today's session. I will put a link, though, in the chat momentarily with the presentation slides and handouts momentarily. To be accessible as possible, the webinar will be offering closed captions. Feel free to turn those on using your Zoom toolbar. If you'd like to receive CEUs for this session, we do offer certificates of participation. You can submit it under Illinois State University. And if you're interested in this, please email Kirsten Bear. I'll add her email also in the chat now and at the end of the session. Tomorrow, each attendee will receive a follow-up email, which will include a survey asking about today's webinar. Please provide feedback and any suggestions you have to help improve upcoming professional development opportunities. I'm going to launch a couple polls to kind of get an idea of where people are at and who you're representing. Here is our first one. So awesome. Thank you all. Getting a lot of responses. I appreciate that. You all are very engaged this morning. Give you a last few people a couple seconds. That's great. Okay, I'll end that poll for now. There's the results. It looks like we have a lot of people from Title I and Title II, adult education, and some youth programs. That's excellent. Those are really helpful for what we're going to be covering today. And it'd be kind of great to hear where people are from. Let me pull that one up. Cool. Lot of diversity. It looks like we're all over the place, but I'll share the poll when we get more responses. That's pretty good. Oh, looks like we've got people all throughout the state, pretty well represented. So it's can people still hear me? Getting some responses. Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna stop sharing that. So I'm excited to have Evelyn give us this presentation. It's very engaging, very interactive. So I'm excited to hear more from her. So Evelyn.
Thank you, Dalton. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And there we go. Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today. Whether you are curious, cautious, or completely new to AI, this session is designed to give you practical, no pressure ways to explore how AI can support your work and not replace it. I'm calling this session AI Quick Wins because I'm focusing on powerful AI tools that can deliver immediate results when you know how to ask them the right questions. Again, my name is Evelyn Casano, and I would love to share a few numbers that are very close to my heart. 15 represents the amazing years I taught at an elementary school here in Aurora, Illinois. 6 is the number of years that I've been teaching in adult education at Waubonsee Community College and still going. And 18, that's how long I have been a proud mom to amazing twin boys who are now getting ready to head off to college in just a couple of weeks. So let's go Redbirds and Boilermakers. Before we dive into the tools and tips I have for you, I want to start with the comedic clip that made me laugh, and maybe you can relate. Let's take a look, and I hope the volume goes through.
We live in this age of incredible medical and technological advancement. I know people are worried about artificial intelligence. AI is going to take over. AI is going to take over. I hope so. I'm exhausted. I feel like my intelligence has taken me as far as I'm going to get. I need artificial intelligence. I was reading this article, Will AI Take Over? I was halfway through before I realized it wasn't about a guy named Al.
Okay. I love Jim Gaffigan, and I don't know, maybe a few of you are smiling. And yes, it's funny because it's true, right? Who doesn't feel like Jim sometimes? You're overwhelmed, stretched thin, exhausted, you're just juggling so much. And that's what today is all about. AI helping us feel less exhausted and overwhelmed. I'm going to break it down for you today, keep it simple, and focus on tools that actually help. No tech jargon, no pressure, just practical ways to use AI as a tool to support the work that you already do, and hopefully take a little bit of that mental load off of your plate.
We live in this.
So we do have another here. I just would like to find out about your background and your experiences with AI. So Dalton, if you can launch that poll. There are 3 questions, so please answer the 3 and then click submit when you are finished. And Dalton, as soon as those results come in, if you would share them, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna give people just a couple more seconds. We're getting close to slow it down. Okay, end it right here.
Okay.
And I'm sharing the results. Can you see them?
Thank you, Dalton. I do see them. Let me scooch up here a minute. Let's see. Okay. About 18% use AI regularly. So I'm glad that we have some beginners here. So that's excellent because that's what the session is geared for, beginners. What would you like AI to help you with at work? Good, a good variety, kind of everything. And I'm not sure yet. What's your biggest concern about using AI at work? Yes, accuracy and misinformation. So we have to, when we use AI, think about it critically. Not concerned, curious. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you for answering the polling questions. Let's go ahead and continue.
We now see a Zoom log. Oh, there you go.
Back, right? Excellent. So for today's agenda, just start with some objectives, of course. I'd like to share why I think AI matters. I will also share some of my favorite AI tools. We will talk about the magic framework. I'm going to give you a chance to go online and try out some of the tools, and then we'll talk about some pitfalls and concerns people have with AI. And then at the end, we will share and reflect on today's webinar. After today's webinar, you will be able to explain what AI tools like Chat, Claude, and Perplexity can do. You will identify 3 to 5 practical ways to use AI. And then you will also be able to generate a basic prompt using an AI tool to help you with a specific task. So why does AI matter? Here, I'll give you 4 reasons why I think AI is worth exploring. Number 1, it's already here and it's not going anywhere. As of just this week alone, ChatGPT has reported having about 700 million weekly users worldwide. And this isn't just a passing trend, it's a transformation in how people work, learn, and communicate. Whether we're ready or not, AI is becoming a part of everyday life. And here's what we know. 60% of K-12 teachers are already using AI tools on the job. AI adoption in education is accelerating, and adult education is often the last to receive resources and support. So we, as educators and professionals, have a choice. We can ignore it, fall behind, or engage with it thoughtfully, ethically, and effectively. And today is about choosing that second path. Number 2, it saves time on everyday tasks. We all wear lots of hats, right? Instructor, coordinator, advisor, administrator. AI can help us write emails, summarize reports, write lesson plans, create checklists, and brainstorm ideas in just seconds. That means we have more time for teaching, planning, and connecting with others. The third reason is AI, I think it boosts creativity and problem solving. AI isn't just for writing. It can help you analyze data, spot patterns, and think through challenges in new ways. Whether you are reviewing survey results, summarizing student feedback, or planning a lesson, AI can help you process information faster. And when you're stuck creatively, like when you have to do a presentation on AI, go ahead and ask AI to be your thinking partner. And number 4, it levels the playing field. You don't need to be a tech expert to use it. With the right approach and a little practice, anyone can use AI to communicate more clearly and to save time. That's what today is about, giving you practical tools that work regardless of your tech background. Okay, so let's just real quick, let me just show you something. So imagine you need to decline a meeting, right? You forgot, you have this meeting you have to go to, and you're rushing between classes or other commitments, and maybe some of us would write, oh, hi, can't make the meeting tomorrow, sorry. Well, that's functional, and I don't know, maybe it's too brief. Well, let's see what we ask. Let's see what happens when we ask AI for help. All right, let me come over, and I'm going to ask AI to help me, which I'm not going to lie, I cheated. I did it before the meeting started, just to save time. So I asked AI for help. I said, help me write a professional email declining a meeting I can't attend, be polite, offer an alternative. And then in just a matter of seconds, I was able to get my idea. And some of you might be thinking, well, I could have written that. And maybe you could have. But sometimes we just have so much on our plate that we just can't think clearly. So here AI gave us a nice letter. It gave us an alternative when you could meet. Thank you for understanding. And then AI went ahead and said, well, what else do you know? Do you want me to be more formal, more casual? Do you want me to include more context? So again, it's just an example about how AI can help us work a little smarter. Next, I want to show you some examples of how I have actually used AI in my own work, whether it's just at home or on the job. And these are real examples that have helped me save time. They've helped me think more clearly and even become more creative. So the first one is a fundraiser checklist. I was helping my nephew organize a fundraiser for my niece whose breast cancer came back. And none of us have ever put a fundraiser together, and he wanted it done like in 3 weeks. So needless to say, I was overwhelmed, and we all were. We had lots of ideas, but we needed to be organized, or I needed to be organized. So I asked the AI to help me create a checklist for this event. And I'm just going to zoom out here for one quick sec. And so I copied what AI gave me and I put it into a Google Doc, but it gave me this excellent list of tasks that I wouldn't have even thought about some of these things that we probably needed to do. So it was super helpful. And again, it just helped me save so much time. So that's one example. The second example that I want to share is it's at work at Waubonsie. I was on our IELCE committee, which is the Integrated English Literacy and Civics Education. That's a mouthful here, committee at work. And one of our goals, one of the things we wanted to do was create an alignment between our curriculum, which is the standout books, and civics competencies. So I created a spreadsheet for the project. And here I wanted a column with the drop-down menu that had all of the competencies listed so that the teachers working on the alignment wouldn't have to type them in individually. And since several of us were working on it, I thought the drop-down list would create some consistency with all of the sheets, right? That's great. The problem was I didn't know how to do that. So here's the sheet, right? This is what I was looking for. So I just wanted teachers to be able to click on it and select one of the competencies. So not knowing how to do that, I went to AI. I explained step by step what I was looking to do. It wasn't perfect the first time, and there was a lot of back and forth conversation between us until I was able to get the results I want. But for me, it was totally worth it to ask AI for help. A third example, again, on our as an adult education teacher working with beginner level English language learners, I'm often creating lesson plans or units, and all of that is very time consuming, as you know. So AI has helped me tremendously in this area. It's helped me create objectives, differentiate my curriculum, come up with rubrics, just so many activities that take a lot of time to put together. So in this example, I'm sharing with you our committee, IELCE committee, had a multi-level lesson plan template. And so I uploaded a PDF of the template and I asked AI to help me fill it out. So here's the template we have, right? Just a blank one. I downloaded it as PDF, uploaded it to the, excuse me, AI, and I told it what I was looking for. And I asked it to fill out every section of the template. And this was the result. It gave me materials and resources. It gave me ideas and objectives for beginner, intermediate, and advanced ESL students. I mean, I loved it. There's a few things I tweaked. I also added my own extension activities at the end. But overall, this saved me so much time. So again, using AI to help me plan lessons is another example. And the last one I'll share with you is using AI for research. When I was working on my ICCB Master ESL Teacher certification, which I completed in May of this year, I was interested in finding articles on phonemic awareness in adult education and specifically for the beginner level English language learners. So instead of opening all these browser tabs, I asked AI to help me find reliable sources. It not only gave me the information I needed, but it linked directly to the original article so I could verify everything. It was like having my own personal assistant. So those are just a few of the ways that I have used AI in my day-to-day work. Whether it's organizing my thoughts, writing better, planning lessons, or researching faster, AI has become my creative partner. And I hope these examples give you a sense of what's possible and, I don't know, maybe even inspire you to try something new. Okay, so you might be wondering which tools I used for these tasks. Let's take a look at 3 of my favorite tools. I gave them nicknames as a fun way just to kind of remember what each one does best, but honestly, they all have overlapping strengths. So think of the nicknames as personalities, not limits. All right, so let's start with the Swiss Army bot or ChatGPT. ChatGPT shines when it comes to creative tasks, for writing support, automating workflows. It's like a multi-tool, right? The Swiss Army knife for your workday. It's perfect when you want flexibility and quick results. Claude is my gentle genius. Claude's like having that really super smart coworker who's always available to help with writing or research, analysis, creative problem solving. Claude gives you direct answers and can actually do the work with you. It's thoughtful and it's great for long form thinking. And the third tool is Perplexity, the fact finder. Perplexity is fast, it's factual, and perfect for research with sources. It's a website that lets you ask questions and get straightforward, well-researched answers. It's like having a smart assistant who can look up information and summarize it for you. Instead of giving you just like a long list of links, Perplexity actually reads and combines information from reliable sources, and then it just explains it in just clear, plain language with citations. So each of these tools, they all have their own strengths. What I would recommend, what I do is I think about my task. What do I need to do and which tool would help me accomplish that task the best. So this chart are some examples to help you see which tool would you probably use if you wanted to summarize a long document. I think Claude AI is perfect with that. Of course, Perplexity for research, 100% all the time. What we need to remember though is that these tools are always changing. Even just this week, ChatGPT, I found something new on that I can explore and play around with. So you just, have to stay curious and keep experimenting. I have a copy of a chart similar to this that I'm going to give you at the end of the session. The chart also includes a section for Microsoft Copilot because I just started playing around with that one this summer as well, and I really love it. So before we get into our prompt writing, I just want to establish a crucial mindset. AI works best when you work with it. So collaborate, explore, and refine together to achieve amazing results. So think of AI like a really smart intern. It's fast, it's helpful, and full of ideas. But it doesn't always know what it's talking about, right? So you still need to guide it, question it, and double check its work. Just remember to treat AI as a collaborator. It's not a vending machine. So now that we have the right mindset, let's talk about how we can get AI to actually help us. This part is important to me because when I first started using AI, I would get so frustrated because my results were all over the place. And I felt like I was just wasting time. It took me longer to come up with the prompt than it would have done to actually do, write the email or, whatever I was looking for. But then other times I would get these amazing, brilliant results. So I couldn't figure out why. I was using the same tool. Sometimes it would work great, and other times it would just be terrible. And then I kind of stopped to think about that. I was treating AI like a mind reader. I just expected it to know what I wanted, and I wasn't giving it clear instructions. So that's when I discovered this magic framework, and it changed everything for me. It's a simple way to get consistent, useful results. The most important skill that we have to remember in using AI effectively is writing a good prompt or giving clear instructions. The clearer you are, the better the result, right? And don't expect perfection on the first try. Think of the magic as a cycle rather than just a checklist. Use it to guide your first prompt and then refine it based on what you get back. So let's walk through each part of the framework. Make it clear. Be specific about what you want. Define the task. What do you want AI to do? The clearer your request, the better AI can respond. Remember, it's about clarity of intent or the what and why of your request. That's the M. A, add context. AI doesn't know who you are or what you're working on unless you tell it. So who is it for? Maybe it's for a new adult education instructor who has never used our LMS before. So that context, the more information you give it, the AI is able to tailor its response, right? Many people give AI a role. I like to give it a role. I like to say you are an expert, beginner level adult education teacher. And then I continue to ask for my request. Okay, so just add some context. G, give examples. What kind of output do you want? Tell it, oh, here is an example of the tone I want. I want it to be friendly or professional. Examples are like training wheels and they help the AI stay on track. I is for include the format. Do you want a bulleted list? Do you want a short paragraph? A table? Do you want a lesson plan following the WIPIA format? Tell it exactly what you want. An example is you can say, format this as a checklist that I can copy it into an email. This is about the structure of the output. How do you want the response delivered? Finally, the C in magic, check and change. Again, AI is powerful, but it is not perfect. Always review what it gives you. And if it's not quite right, tweak your prompt and try again. Remember, it's a cycle. And think of it like a conversation. The more you refine your question, the better the answers get. So that's magic, a simple way to write better prompts and get better results. And the best part, you don't need to be a text expert to use this. Just remember, make it clear, add context, give examples, include format, and then check and change as needed. Here are just some logistics before you go on into your practice part. For ChatGPT, you can use ChatGPT without creating an account, but it's really basic. It might limit you, like uploading a PDF, but I'm not sure about that. And it won't save your chats. So you can create a free account for more options. And of course, it also has a paid plan. I think they all do. I do not pay for any of these AI tools. Claude always requires you to log in. So if today you decide, I'm going to play around with Claude, which is amazing, you will need to log in. I log in with my Gmail account. And then Perplexity, again, you can use Perplexity without signing up. I created just a free account, again, using my Gmail, just to be able to save my chats. Okay. If you want an account, again, you can create one during our practice time, or if you don't, you can just watch and try it later. So let's put this into practice together. Okay. Let's think of, here's a scenario. You are planning a professional development workshop. It's for 25 adult ed instructors, and you need a pre-event checklist. Okay, so that's our scenario. So let's think about, and this is where I'm going to want some help here. Okay, we're going to use the magic framework. Again, in Dalton, I don't know if you could maybe even just put the framework in the chat if you just want to type what each letter stands for.
I just dropped it in chat. Oh, well, I added it. I will get it to everyone right now.
Thank you. Dalton, you're so wonderful. So I'm going to give us a minute to think about this. Again, here's the scenario. It's a PD workshop, 25 adult ed instructors. You want a pre-event checklist to make sure you're going to be organized for this amazing PD for your wonderful adult ed instructors, okay? So I'm going to come out of here a second and let's just use chat here. And I'm in ChatGPT. I am logged in with my free account and I'm going to click on new chat. Okay, so using the magic framework, can someone say aloud or type in the chat, what is our task? Let's make it clear. What would you say? Again, this is the scenario. PD workshop, 25 adult ed instructors. What are you going to ask? How are we going to phrase this for chat using the magic framework? And Dalton, I can't see the chat. I'm not looking at the chat, so if you can tell me.
That's okay. Yep, I was waiting for somebody. Here we go. We've got one from Lacey saying, create a pre-event checklist for an adult education instructor workshop.
Excellent. So that's clear. Do we want to add any other? Well, I think for that also includes the context because she said for an adult education workshop, we could add.
We've got maybe add 20 for 425 attendees presented by Lake County Workforce Development staff.
Ooh. Lake County. Let's go Lake County
Yeah,
Workforce.
workforce development staff.
Awesome.
Excellent context, everyone.
Yes, I love it. What do we want any examples like room setup? Do we want to give it some suggestions for what we would want in the checklist, like technology, materials, anything like that?
We've got adding time lengths and
Okay.
topics to it. We need to consider what the main goal is. Is it in person or online?
Okay. Wow,
Ooh,
you guys
table
are good.
format. Someone mentions that for the format context. Will there be food served? So that's something for
Ooh.
us to consider for it. And someone says add the Jim Rohn style. I'm not sure what Jim Rohn means, but maybe that's another way for output.
I love it. I love it. And then do we want a checklist, a table, a timeline?
I think they were saying a checklist, but I also saw someone mentioning a timeline. So
How about if we do a checklist first and then we can always edit it?
yeah,
AI is
exactly.
working for us. Help make whatever, it will make whatever we want it to make. Create this as a checklist. All right, so we have create a pre-event checklist for an adult education workshop for 25 attendees presented by Lake County Workforce Development staff. Amazing. Include in person or online, table format, etc. Food, add Jim Rohn style that I'm not sure, but I'm excited to see what it'll say. Create this as a checklist. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to hit enter and see what happens. I hope y'all can see this well. Zoom in a little bit. So here's the checklist. It includes both in-person and online considerations, and it is formatted as a table. Thank you, chat. I find myself saying thank you and please to my AIs all the time. There's a quote from Jim Rohn. And here it has, I don't know, what do you guys think? Venue and logistics. You know, even if it's not perfect for me, sometimes the hardest part of any project is just getting started. Workshop materials. It even tells you to send it 3 days prior. Copies, PDFs, technology, what you need. And if you don't like this format, you could ask AI to reformat it as well. I love these Jim Rohn quotes. I don't know if that's what you were thinking of, but that's what AI gave you. So if this is not what you wanted for Jim Rohn, you could go back and explain it a little bit better than I did. I love that AI will ask if you want it as a PDF or Google Sheet. You can do that as well. Sometimes I just copy and paste what I get in a Google Doc and just organize it the way I want. So any feedback, any thoughts on this in the chat?
A lot of people are, it's amazing. I love it. Any other feedback? Impressive. Good thumbs up.
Even if it's not perfect, I mean, it gets you an idea, like who's responsible. Sometimes I forget to add that, you know, who's doing what. So again, what a great example. And thank you. I appreciate your, those of you that are adding comments in the chat. Thank you for helping out on there.
Can we see the request again before we
Absolutely.
leave?
Yes, this was our, I'm assuming a little bit, right? So here was our request, create a pre-event checklist.
And
about at workshop.
And someone's asking what kind of prompt you would make to like have any changes done to it. If we want to come back to that at the end, we'll make sure we have time.
You know what? I just continue on. Let me just zoom back out again. So I would go back on and I would under Ask Anything, keep the conversation going, which is nice. In ChatGPT and in Claude especially, you can do this. You can just continue with your conversation. So an example was if you wanted it as a timeline or you wanted to add something else, just ask AI. I'm trying to think. I'll just say, can you create this as a timeline? Let's just see what happens. And then it says absolutely, which I love. Oh, okay. So when 3 to 4 weeks before, this is what you should do. See, I love that. And again, you can copy and paste it. So anytime you want to make changes to that original prompt, you can continue the conversation. Again, with free accounts, you'll have a limit. So I often get to my limit and it'll say, yeah, you're done for today, Evelyn. Come back later or tomorrow. So with free accounts, expect that. All right, Dalton, anything else in the chat?
Not at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, so now that we did that together, and I shared my examples and we did one together. Another thing I will say, if you notice any of the images I'm using, I made a lot of them using AI as well. So that's another thing you can do with AI is create your own images. All right, so now it's your turn. I want you to think about which one of the 3 AI tools you want to use, or maybe you have another AI tool that you love. And if you do, please share, because I love hearing what other people are doing and using with their AI options. So I know that Dalton will be adding the links for the 3 AI tools I talked about, but here's some practice options, okay? So option A, there will be a link for a PDF that has sample prompts on there. The different categories are listed here, program management, lesson objectives, PD. So you'll see different categories for the option A list. Or if you want to practice, you can create your own prompt. I know school is starting very soon if it hasn't for some programs yet. Think of a real task you need to tackle. Maybe it's a back to school letter for your students or your staff. Use the Magic Framework to help you write your prompt and just, again, test it out with one of these AI tools. Or like I said, if you have another one, go ahead and use that one. So Dalton, I know, is dropping a link in the chat, and here's some sample prompts that I'm sharing with you. So there are 10 sample prompts. If you want to copy one of these and paste it, or if you have your own idea, please feel free to do either one. And if you just want to watch and see what everyone else is doing, then you just go ahead and watch and see what we all share. No worries. This is low key. All is well. So if you would please go ahead now. I want you to go ahead, pick an AI tool that you would like to practice with, and click on the sample prompt PDF or come up with your own idea. I'm going to give us about, Dalton, I think I'm going to give us about 5 minutes or so.
That sounds good.
Kind of see, and then I'm going to be looking for some volunteers to share and reflect on what you found. Okay, so good luck. And if you have any questions at this time too, you need help with something, please ask. I'm gonna go to 5 minutes. I'm very picky about my timers.
Protect your family's dreams under our roof. American Family Insurance.
I have about 2 more minutes and then we will stop and share. Winding it down here. About 5 more seconds. Awesome. All right. You know what? I'm going to stop sharing a minute here. And I'm going to see if anybody would be willing to share. Did I stop sharing or am I still sharing my screen?
You're no longer sharing.
Dalton,
Yeah, can you hear me?
am I still sharing my screen?
No, it's just,
Oh, I
yeah.
can't. Oh, here we go. Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Would anybody be willing to share what they tried or which AI tool you used, what your results were like? And why don't you just unmute? Nancy?
Hi. Yeah, I'm working on creating a module on the career clusters that we're going to house on iPathways, and I just put a prompt into Claude and it created the most beautiful outline I've ever seen with everything I could ever need, including how to assess it, how to how the process, the scaffolding that's needed. I'm thrilled and it's saved hours of my life. I love it.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I love how it gave you things you weren't even thinking about, right?
Yes, they would have come further down the line, but as I'm planning, I can incorporate that now because it thought ahead for me, which is amazing.
Excellent. I appreciate you sharing. Anyone else?
I have one.
I had
but I can't
actually
remember how
used
to raise my hand.
ChatGPT. Oh, go ahead.
Ann?
No, I'll wait.
Go ahead, Ann.
No, I'm sorry to whoever I talked at the same time as.
It's okay. We'll do Ann, and then after Ann, Joy, you can share.
I was just saying that I also have a child going to college, and so I decided to use it for a personal. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I don't know if we're remembering everything we have to do, and so I asked it to make a timeline checklist for me, and all of a sudden I had the whole thing. Made me feel a lot more comfortable about it. I could add to it. Um, so then making my account with Claude and doing that took like 2 minutes of our 5 minutes. So then I sat here for a whole minute, twiddling my thumbs, and then I realized I could do one for getting ready for my upcoming class. So I asked it to do a checklist to get ready for my class, and now I'm ready to go. So it was pretty quick and easy.
I love that example. And I love checklists, Anne, and I'm going to need to borrow your college one because I'm right there with you, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Anne. And Joy, I think you unmuted.
Yeah, I had used ChatGPT to help me with a rejection letter for a student worker position. We had several students apply and they were qualified, but there weren't enough positions for all of the qualified students. So just being able to kind of help help with some of the wording that I had struggled with, that was really helpful. Also, I had a Perkins student who was getting her first apartment and really had no idea what she might need. So even generating a checklist for her of things to think about, especially with her utilities and budgeting, it's been really helpful with students and also giving them that opportunity to see how they can be more independent with using Chat GPT for things that they might need if they don't have a lot of parental guidance.
Absolutely. And that brings a good point. I think that's one of the things we also have to think about is how to use AI ethically with our students and what all that looks like. But that's not this workshop. That's another workshop for someone else. All right. Well, I see lots of ideas in the chat too as well. Thank you for everyone for sharing. I'm going to go ahead and just jump back into my slides real quick because I see our time is almost coming to an end. So here are, of course, I love my AI, but I know that there are some common pitfalls that you might encounter. So the first one is AI might come across like it knows what it's talking about. But unfortunately, there are these things called hallucinations where AI might cite a study that doesn't exist or give you facts that are completely false. So you have to be diligent, fact check any key claims. Outdated information. These tools don't know what happened after their training cutoffs. So, sites like Chat or Claude might give you old information presented as current, and it's not intentional. They're not trying to be mean to you or anything, but you just want to verify any time sensitive claims. The next one is bias that sounds reasonable. AI, unfortunately, can perpetuate stereotypes from its training data. And it might suggest to you that older adult learners prefer traditional teaching methods or students from this culture learns differently, right? And it might sound professional, but it can reinforce harmful stereotypes. So please trust your knowledge, not AI's assumptions about demographics. Use your own judgment. And the last one is the dependency trap, right? We don't want to over rely on AI because it can atrophy our own thinking and writing skills. And what that might look like is maybe, you can't write an email anymore without asking AI for help. Trust yourself. You're the professional. Don't always accept AI's suggestion without thinking about it. Okay. Use AI as a starting point, not a replacement for your own thinking. Okay. And I want to stress, these are not reasons to avoid AI. Remember, AI, it's here, right? It's not going anywhere. But these are just reminders that your expertise matters more than ever. Again, let's just reiterate, avoid bias. Please don't put in any personal information, student names, ID numbers, anything into any AI. And be transparent. Like let your students, let your colleagues know when you use AI to support your work. Like a slideshow on AI. Now you've got the magic, so let's go ahead and go and use it, please. Here's an action plan, right? As a teacher, I'm giving you some homework, but not really. But think about this, right? You just spend an hour here. So what are you going to do now that you're leaving this webinar? Which AI tool will you try this week? What will you ask AI to help you with? And then just, if you're stuck, remember your magic. Make it clear, add context, give examples, include a format, check, change, build from there. Start small. And thank you for being open, curious, and willing to explore something new. Today wasn't about becoming an AI expert. It was about discovering how AI can support the work that you are already doing. Whether it's writing emails, organizing your thoughts, or creating resources, you now have a framework and a little magic to help you. Remember, AI doesn't replace your expertise, it amplifies it. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you leave here today feeling empowered, not overwhelmed, and excited to keep exploring.
Excellent. Oh,
Thank you,
go ahead.
Dalton. And then I think you said you were going to share the links to the slides and webinar handouts that I have for you to look at on your own time.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. We're kind of running low on time, so I'm going to give us a closeout. And if we have time for questions, I believe Evelyn has her email in the presentation. So
Thank you.
I want to offer her out without her permission, but
I have a question. Evelyn,
oh,
do you
yes.
have any, this is Deb Lawrence from Business and Career Services. I'm at the American Job Center in Wheeling. I'm just wondering if you have any idea at all as to what the paid version is of some of these AIs, because you kept referring to the free version and that there were limitations.
Yes, but honestly, ever since I've started using AI these last few years, I never felt like I was missing out. I think that the paid versions probably let you maybe ask more questions and have more conversations. Honestly, I'm not familiar with them because I'm a poor adult education teacher. I can't afford all these.
Yeah, well, same
paid
here.
versions,
So
but
what can I say?
I think some of them are really nice.
I actually use AI to generate graphics, and I have reached the limit of how many graphics I can create in a day with ChatGPT. So if you pay for it, you get more abilities to create graphics.
So you're one of those people, Richard, that at like 12:01 midnight, you're back on.
Yeah, you know me.
Excellent. So I just
Thanks.
wanted to jump in to say thank you all so much. Very interactive and engaged audience. Excellent work, Evelyn. Thank you. I did drop a link in the chat for a survey. You will get an email tomorrow with a link to that survey as well as to the materials. It's the same link that I've sent in the chat a few times now. So I encourage you to fill out the survey now or tomorrow when you get that email. But thank you all so much for your time. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks, Dalton.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.